two Bahamian teenagers known as the Neely brothers, 16 and 18 years old, facing 10 to life in jail. These brothers have the same name with a twist. Both brothers' real name is Tyrone Neely the eldest and Tyrone Neely the youngest. Both Neelys were remanded to prison on two separate unrelated incidents. Tyrone Neely, also known as TJ, is in prison for allegedly robbing a 90-year-old man of $500. TJ was born January 5, 2000 by his beautiful mother Shamara Forbes and Tyrone Neely Sr. TJ is incarcerated at age 21, sentenced to 10 years. This is how it all started. He is a known member of the Crack Nation Buda Block gang of the Kemp Road area in Nassau, Bahamas. From living Market Street, Marshall Road, and Elizabeth Estates, to linking up with friends from nearby neighborhoods. TJ had a way with the ladies but had an attitude problem which resulted in many issues. From fighting, skipping school, running away from home, he always kept it moving. This gangbanger is known to be an enforcer in prison for the older members. TJ was known for stepping in prison for his big homie Buda. TJ, who resides in maximum prison on a gang block known as CN or B, in which he has a brother that resides on the same block in maximum prison, where teen killer Rohan Moonings aka Blood or Ropey was recently released after spending nearly 7 years for a stabbing of a Doris Johnson High School student that occurred near Blanco Bleach Company on Prince Charles Drive. Back to the story, gang. TJ, alongside a juvenile in this armed robbery incident, was also faced a separate charge of allegedly attempting to cause his death by means of unlawful harm. Tyrone Neely, age 18 at the time of Calvin Street, and a 16-year-old minor were charged with robbing and causing harm to Wilfred Benaby on January 28, 2020. The minor's identity has been withheld due to his age. It is alleged that both youth used a hammer of the victim in the armed robbery as they strong-armed Mr. Benaby. Shortly after 11 a.m. on the day in question, the two youths entered a convenience store on Lincoln Boulevard and Miami Street, and held up an employee, who refused to comply with the attackers, causing him harm before these two teens got nervous, and started robbing the cash register of this establishment. The injured man was taken to the hospital. He was later listed in stable condition. Both youth pleaded guilty. However, neither was required to enter a plea to the charges, and the case was adjourned to April 29, 2021 for service of a voluntary bill of indictment. The teens are being held at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services in separate dorms in the meantime. July 2022, a 19-year-old who was accused of robbing and assaulting a 93-year-old man in the head with a hammer during an armed robbery has been sentenced to 8 years in prison after taking a plea deal. Tyrone Neely was 18 years old when he committed the crime on January 28, 2020. Neely and a then 16-year-old boy attacked Wilfred Benaby in his petty shop on Lincoln Boulevard and robbed him of $500. Neely was initially charged with armed robbery and attempted murder. However, Neely pleaded guilty to armed robbery and causing dangerous harm. Neely has been in custody since the time of his arrest, and the time spent on remand will be deducted from his sentence. Neely's co-accused took a plea deal in 2021 and was jailed for 10 years. Next we have the notorious YTN/GHN teen killer goes by the name of Junkman or Junky. Junky, whose real name is Tyrone Neely, who once was a wanted teen for murder, attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder, has since been recaptured and placed on flight risk in maximum prison on these charges. In Nassau, Bahamas, A.B.P. was dispatched that a 16-year-old boy arrested for committing murder escaped from Central Police Station on a Tuesday night. There has been no mention of his escape on the daily crime report to save the Royal Bahamas Police Force. The embarrassment of losing a murder suspect as officers scrambled to find the teen runaway. Police were questioning the boy to determine if they had sufficient evidence against him to formally charge him. Suddenly Junky asked to use the restroom, and as he seen his freedom opportunity, he made a ran for it. Junky ran in the downtown area, dodging the police and Good Samaritans for nearly 1 hour before he evaded the area. 2 days later he was apprehended in the Marshall Road area. On arrival of seeing the authorities, Junky tried to make his good escape but was quickly arrested. Junky was placed in maximum security on the same block as his big brother TJ, which is in the same facility as the Dirty South gang members. The Neely brothers both are mutual gang members of the Crack Nation gang, and both are rivals of Mattis, Dirty South, Bush Life gang members. Junky recently got into an altercation with a rival Dirty South member whole incarcerated, which his brother TJ defended his situation on the day of court appearance. TJ snuff Junky's op Bradley role. Junky is on remand fighting his case without a lawyer. More updates in part 2.